Hello, foodie friends! So, I thought I might go ahead and introduce the newest member to our family. This is little Henry. Now, as some of you guys might know, we had a dog pass away from cancer last November, and our other dog, Emma, has been extremely sad and depressed ever since, which is completely understandable as he was a true member of our family, and we all really missed him. So we thought it was probably about time to get her another little friend. So we did try to adopt through some of our local animal shelters. However, there's so many people adopting dogs right now that they didn't have one that really fit our house. They had a lot of really large dogs, and we, kind of the way we live, we need to have like a little dog like this. So we actually found this guy on Craigslist from a couple who really wasn't able to kind of fit him into their household. They were having trouble with their other dogs. He does have some anxiety issues, which he's definitely starting to come out of his shell now that he's come to this house and he's been playing and he's been a lot happier. So we think it's a really good fit. And of course our other dog is just absolutely ecstatic that she has another little friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him down and we'll go ahead and start cooking. But first, let me show you the cookbook. So as you know, we're gonna continue our little road trip, and this time we're gonna go to Arizona and explore this nice little cookbook. This is something my grandmother picked up on one of her road trips, and I kind of think she did a really good job picking this one out. But let's go ahead and make the recipe first, then we'll come to our verdict.
Pause here to write down what you'll need to follow along. Let's go ahead and get our ingredients ready before we start cooking. First, start with your onion and go ahead and dice it up. This cookbook is a really neat little mix of all the different cultures that make Arizona so interesting. Just like the cookbook, Arizona is pretty ethnically diverse, having only been ceded to the United States in 1848 after the Mexican-American War. However, Arizona wouldn't actually become a state until 1912. Now for your cheddar cheese. I use Cracker Barrel because it was on sale, so go ahead and cube that to make it better to melt. This cookbook features a lot of Spanish and Navajo Indian recipes, mirroring the state quite well, as Navajo and Spanish are the two most common languages spoken after English. And now it's time for a Henry alert! He decided to come into the kitchen and see what was smelling so good. I decided to go ahead and chop up this corned beef as best I could, just to make it easier to brown and cook through in the pot. And you may be wondering why I have 2 bowls of beans. Well, I will show you that in just a little bit. But go ahead and split your beans into 1 cup into one bowl and then put the rest into another one. Now in a large pot, go ahead and get your 2 tablespoons of cooking fat ready, which you can use anything. I use butter, but you could also use canola oil, vegetable oil, even lard if you want to. Once that's heated up, go ahead and add your onions, and we're going to go ahead and cook them until most of them are brown. Once your onions are ready, that 1 cup of beans is going to come into play right now. Go ahead and add them to the pot, and then with a potato masher, go ahead and mash those beans right into the onions. Now you can add the rest of your beans, which you are not going to mash. Then your corned beef. And the chili powder is strictly to taste, so go ahead and go wild or just add a little bit. Then go ahead and add your tomato sauce. Now you can also use canned tomatoes, but I had a bunch of sauce to use up from Costco, so I just went ahead and used what I had. I went ahead and broke up the corned beef just a little bit more so it'd be even easier to cook, and then we're gonna add our cubed cheese. I went ahead and mixed up the cheese a little bit in there just to help with the melting, and then put a lid on it to help even more. Now while the cheese is melting, we're going to go ahead and cook our tortillas. I have a tortilla warmer, which I just picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I've got a paper towel inside just to soak up excess grease. Once your oil is ready, go ahead and fry them very lightly on each side until you have enough for a really good dinner. And now let's go ahead and dish it up and eat and see how good a food Arizona has to offer.
Okay, so I started out with high hopes.
Yeah. Smells good.
It does smell good, but I'm not gonna say what I think it looks like on the plate. The thumbnail's gonna be really interesting for this show because it's like
people might get the wrong idea.
It's not the most appetizing looking thing. I think it'd be like it would look a little better if you could chop some cilantro and
Or
sprinkle it on top.
parsley or something like that,
But, you know.
A little bit of a garnish.
I do have parsley, but I kind of wanted to stick exactly to the recipe, and then we'll garnish it later.
We'll go from there.
And we're not exactly sure how to eat it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So let's just try it this way. Yeah. It is still really hot, so be careful. I take back everything I said about the look of it and how I didn't have high hopes because wow.
Yeah, that has a lot of flavor.
It does.
Like, I was kind of scared about the corned beef because I've had, it's basically like a chili with corned beef in it instead of regular beef. But I didn't know or expect how the corned beef would really taste.
I thought it overpowered. I've only had corned beef. This is the second time I've had it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm not really like my grandmother for St. Patrick's Day always used to make like corned beef and cabbage and stuff like that. And so, as a kid, I wasn't that big of a cabbage fan. So I kind of like melded the two foods together. I was like, ugh, I don't like either one of them. But you know what? This might be one of my new favorite chili dishes.
Oh yeah, what I would do differently, the tortilla makes it difficult. What I would do...
Well, that's how they suggest it.
I see. I get that. But what I'm, like, the only thing I would change is how you do the tortilla. And I might take the tortilla as like a side that you dip in a bowl of it.
Yeah.
Or something like crackers. Instead of crackers, use the tortilla as like a cracker type.
And something else I was thinking of too, you could fry them, or you could cut them into strips.
Oh, yeah.
And then fry them,
Yeah.
and then garnish on top.
Yeah, of a bowl of chili.
Of a bowl of this, and that would be really good too. That would be a lot easier to eat it, I think, than how they suggested it.
Maybe we piled it more than they usually put on one tortilla. It's hard to tell.
We're kind of piglets, so
but it's the flavor. It's hard to express to somebody else what that tastes like.
Yeah, and even if you don't like corned beef, I didn't think I did.
You're right.
But I love this.
It's really good.
You're gonna like the corned beef in this chili.
Yeah, it's like taking a chili, like a really good chili recipe, and then just kicking it up an extra notch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's hard to describe what that's like without actually trying it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't put into words what the flavor is, but it's a very, very well-rounded, very intricate, but not like crazy flavor.
Yes, and and especially for having the limited amount of ingredients that it did. And you know what? This is one dish I would say that you just get past the look of it and just dig in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't look that pretty on the plate, but wow, is it just really...
It is really good.
I didn't have this cookbook kind of built up.
Yeah.
Because when I was flipping through it, it was really... I liked it. It's just really cute and it's fun. And I also really like the recipes, and I like the way that it was organized. So Arizona, as we know from last week, we had talked about the Indian cookbook, where, the Navajo had been taken off of their land in Arizona and that kind of thing. And this cookbook actually has a section on, well, you can see at the top, Indian cooking, Mexican, Western. So this cookbook incorporated all the really cool cultural aspects of Arizona and took a lot of the recipes and put it all into one book for you.
Right.
And that was really cool, which kind of like, this is a little bit kind of funny to me. As I was flipping through the Indian section, there was about 7 to 8 different fry breads. So, I mean, but there was a lot of other really cool things too. Like, there was some interesting recipes that obviously weren't in last week's cookbook.
Yeah.
That was in that section. The Mexican section is also really good. And they do acknowledge that there is a difference between what Mexicans view as their traditional food and what Americans view what Mexican traditional food is.
Right.
And so there are actually recipes in here where it's like, burritos and then American style burritos. And then, so they do make that kind of cool distinction. And I thought that would be kind of neat to make both and just see, how cool that is. I also really enjoyed the backpacking and camping section, and it also has like a barbecue.
Yeah.
So they really went, and some of the recipes for the camping and so would be really cool if you're a hiker and you want to just make some snacks to take with you on the trail and that kind of thing. I mean, that's something that I would try. We would do that. Yeah. I also now we could not get access to this living in Tennessee, but there is a whole prickly pear section where they just make a whole bunch of different things with cactus? Prickly pear cactus.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And I was like, if we ever, went on a trip to Arizona, I would look into getting some, prickly pear cactus and just seeing if we can cook with it. But I'm definitely going to give this recipe a 5.
Definitely. Heck yeah.
And I'm definitely going to give this a 5. It's just really fun. Now, fortunately for you guys, this is the first edition, and it was made in 1983. Now, fortunately, I looked this up on eBay right before we started recording. You can get this on eBay for as low as $4, but you will be paying a little bit of shipping. But some of them are like $6 in free shipping, so if you wanted to do that. But this is something, if you really like, Tex-Mex and different kind of cultural foods and, looking at kind of like the mix of foods that America has to offer, especially, the Southwest, and those kinds of flavors.
It's kind of a melting pot.
You're gonna love this. And I mean, for $6 for a really fun, cool little cookbook, I mean, that's not bad. So, and our new thing, in terms of repeatability.
Are we gonna eat out of it again? I think we already said we were planning on a few.
Yeah, I mean, many times over. I would make this again because, boy, was this a snap to throw together.
Yeah. And
you can make this on a busy weeknight after work so easy.
And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll have to cut this out. But the can of corned beef is probably cheaper than regular beef.
Actually, yeah, it is.
For the same, it might actually be cheaper than regular chili, even though I think I like it better.
No, it is cheaper than regular chili.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have, and what makes it so nice, now you could make it, if you want to soak your beans overnight and you want to cook your own beans and stuff like that, that's cool. I mean, you can totally do that. But if you're just wanting a really quick dinner and you come home from work and you're wanting something good on a fall or a winter day, just get some cans of beans, can of tomato sauce, the can of corned beef. You're basically done.
Yeah, throw it in there and go.
Yeah, and that's what I like recipes like this.
Right.
This is something, now there are way more complicated recipes in here if you want to do that. However, there's a ton of recipes that really would be good on a weeknight that you can just toss together. It tastes good and you're done.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, you can't really ask for more out of a cookbook. Something that tastes good and kind of has some simple, some complicated, but they're all good. So yeah, I mean, we really can't say anything else about it.
No.
And I mean, it's just really good all the way around. So I really hope that you guys try this, especially if you're a chili aficionado, like this guy over here. You're really going to like this one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
So I guess that concludes for this week. As promised, we did not ramble
Too much
like we did the last couple of weeks. But next week, we're also going to continue our road trip, and we're going to pick up in a different state. Hopefully that state can live up to this one.
Oh.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know now. I mean, we started out like really high.
Yeah, we set the bar a little high on this one.
Yeah, maybe we should have saved this one for last. But yeah, the bar is high, so we're going to see if the other states that Mamaw picked up, we're going to see if they can keep up with this.
Dang.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. So, thank you for watching this week. Really hope you try this. You're going to love it. And stick around for next week because we're going to continue our road trip. We'll see you then. Bye.
If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for future videos. In the meantime, here are 2 videos you may enjoy. Thanks for watching.